Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Alright, today we have a class on something that was brought up for while we were sheltered in place, but there were just so many announcements that we never got to it. So I figure I should stop saying so much. I figure we can take the class now, and it's gonna make up for it because it is a very interesting subject. There's actually another one as well. This might be a two-part class, so be ready for that. Pardon me. However, we'll see how far we get. So it's on the planets of the solar system, of our solar system. And then it says order of the 8 or 9 planets. So that's the fun thing. We're going to find out what does that or 9 mean. And maybe, once you watch this, if you have any input, you can let me know. Or what your ideas are, or put some research into it and see what you find out. Like I said, it might be a two-part class, depending. I'll try not to have these go over, say, 10 to 12 minutes. Just to be fair to everybody. But let's go over. So here is a look at our planets. So there's the big old sun, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 question mark. Now, where are we? We're third rock from the sun. So what does that mean? That means we're 1, 2, 3 right there. There's us. The Earthicans. But we're going to go over the order of the planets. So the order of the planets in the solar system, starting nearest the sun and working outward, is the following. Mercury is closest. I should really memorize this. There's a trivia game I play all the time and ask me what the planets are and which is closest to the sun. And I never remember. So Mercury is the closest. Thermometers get hot. Mercury and thermometers, remember that. Venus, Earth, Mars, obviously, because that's the closest planet to us that we can actually make it to. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and then the possible Planet 9. There's an old movie called Plan 9 from Outer Space. Maybe it's about Planet 9. I hear it's about Mormons. Or has something to do with the LDS Church. I don't know. I never watched it. Which is weird. Okay, so ever since the discovery of Pluto in 1930, kids grew up learning the solar system has 9 planets. That all changed in the late 1990s when astronomers started arguing about whether Pluto was indeed a planet. In a highly controversial decision, the International Astronomical Union ultimately decided to designate Pluto as a dwarf planet. Too small to be a regular planet, apparently. Reducing the list of our solar planets, true planets, to just 8. So there is a dwarf planet, Pluto, out there. That it was discovered because the way the planets were each discovered was based on gravity and the rotation of it. And that's where, I think Copernicus, and I can't remember the other guy's name, Galileo, started studying the math behind it, and they're like, no, there's another one out there. That's why this one's acting the way it is, and the closer they'd get, they'd be like, yeah, this is why. However, we're still hunting for another possible planet in our solar system, a true 9th planet, after mathematical evidence, on January 2016. It's too many 20. January 20, 2016. The alleged Planet 9, also called Planet X, X in mathematics, of course, is the unknown, is believed to be about 10 times the mass of Earth. So let's see. So the inner 4 planets closest to the Sun, which is Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are often called the terrestrial planets because their surfaces are rocky. Pluto also has a rocky, albeit frozen surface, but never going to be grouped with the other 4 terrestrial planets. The 4 outer worlds, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are sometimes called the Jovian, or Jupiter-like, planets because of their enormous size relative to the terrestrial planets. And this is probably why they're so big, that would be my guess. They're also mostly made of gases like hydrogen, helium, and ammonia, rather than of rocky surfaces. Although astronomers believe some or all of them may have solid cores. Interesting. So Jupiter and Saturn are sometimes called the gas giants. Huh. Should have called that my grandparents that. Just kidding. Sorry, Grandma, Grandpa. I love you. Jupiter and Saturn are sometimes called the gas giants, whereas the more distant Uranus and Neptune have been nicknamed the ice giants. This is because Uranus and Neptune have more atmospheric water and other ice-forming molecules, such as methane, hydrogen sulfide, and phosphine, that crystallize into clouds in the planet's frigid conditions. Interesting. So what is and isn't a planet? Like, how do you classify? So the IAU, well, it should be nice if they, well, I think they did say it on the first page, didn't they? Hey. Oh, the International Astronomical Union defines a true planet as a body that circles the sun without being some other object's satellite. It is large enough to be rounded by its own gravity, but not so big that it begins to undergo nuclear fusion like a star, and has cleared its neighborhood of the other orbiting bodies. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Yeah, so has to be just the right size. It has to be just the right amount of gas so it doesn't become infused so that it becomes a star like the sun, which will just be burning hot. And also it's strong enough to compete with the other ones around because they kind of push each other away, the gravitational system. Keep each other apart naturally, which is neat. All right. Okay, so here we go. So zipping around only 88 days, Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and it's also the smallest. So remember that. If you're ever on a quiz show or something like that, which is the smallest of the planets? I mean, before it was Pluto, but now it's a dwarf planet, so it can't be considered the smallest. And so it goes around the Sun in only 88 days, as opposed to 365 days. Mercury is also the closest planet to the Sun. Smallest and only a little bit larger than Earth's moon. Oh, wow. So it's like the size of a meteor, basically. Because it's so close to the Sun, about 2/5 the distance between Earth and Sun, Mercury experiences dramatic changes in its day and night temperatures. Mercury can reach a scorching 840 degree Fahrenheit. That's hot. Or 450 degrees Celsius in the day. So if you want to imagine 840 degrees Fahrenheit, most ovens will only let you go up to about 500 degrees. You can go there's kilns and things like that where I'm sure you can reach that temperature, but it's hot enough to melt lead. So yeah, they call them glory holes when you do. What is that called? when you shape and form things, like metals. I can't. Oh no, or glass blowing, things like that. That's what it is, glass blowing. With glass blowing, you put it in there, and it's called a glory hole. But it's a giant furnace, and it's really hot. Meanwhile, in the night side, temperatures drop to minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's probably like a few minutes in the day that it's perfect there in Mercury. Discovery is known to the ancient Greeks and visible to the naked eye. Named for the messenger of the Roman gods. It's a diameter 3,031 miles. So its orbit 88 Earth days and day 58.6 Earth days. Let's see. Mercury has a very thin atmosphere of oxygen, sodium, hydrogen, helium, and potassium, and can't break up incoming meteors. So its surface is pockmarked with craters, just like the moon. Over its 4-year mission, NASA's Messenger spacecraft revealed incredible new studies that... Oh, it cut off. Well, that's great. Well, anyway, it gets hit by a bunch of meteors because of its size. Much like the moon. That's why you go to the moon and the craters, it doesn't have enough... it's not big enough to actually count that out. So, on to the second one. So we'll end with this one. So the second planet from the Sun, Venus, is Earth's twin in size. Radar images beneath its atmosphere reveal that its surface has various mountains and volcanoes. But beyond that, the two planets couldn't be more different because of its thick, toxic atmosphere that's made of sulfuric acid clouds. Venus is an extreme example of the greenhouse effect. It's scorching hot. Even though Mercury is closer to the Sun, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. Yikes. Maybe it's because Mercury is so small and a lot of things refract. I don't know. A discovery known to the ancient Greeks and visible to the naked eye. Named for the Roman goddess of love and beauty. That's right. Diameter 7,521 miles. Orbit 225 Earth days. And day 241 Earth days. So the average temperature on Venus' surface is about 900 degrees Fahrenheit and 465 degrees Celsius. At 92 bar, the pressure of the surface would crush and kill you. And oddly, Venus slows down from east to west, the opposite direction of most other planets, as opposed to west to east. So the sun rises in the opposite place. The Greeks believed Venus had two different objects, one in the morning sky and the other in the evening, because it's often brighter than any other object in the sky. Venus has generated many UFO reports. So a lot of times people reporting that they've seen alien life, well, sorry, that's just Venus. That's what I'm going to say to people now when they believe in aliens. No, just Venus. Sorry. Don't know what you're talking about. Alright. So, we still got a lot more planets to go. But we got over the basics of them already. So we'll cut off here. We'll begin again tomorrow with the conclusion of the planets in our solar system. Anyway. So this has been DJ talking about the planets in our solar system. Signing off and hoping that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, that ain't no alien force out there. It's just Venus. Alright. Or it could be an alien. Alright, ciao for now, everybody. Bye.